Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk to you about Ceromancy. Ceromancy is the divination of wax, and there's various ways that you can do this. This is actually something that I have always done way before I even knew that there was a name attached to it. I've always watched my candles. I watched how they burn. I watched the flame. I watched the smoke. I watch the smoke and incense as well when I'm doing a spell. I study the wax. I study the wax as it falls and when it's all done. And the way I do my ceromancy is very simply, I see images, I see pictures in the wax. I don't have any other rules or ways that I do it. I just see pictures. I see pictures in flames. I see pictures in the smoke. I don't necessarily... Now, on the flames, I do judge that. For example, if I have a very light flame, I take that as a slow and steady. I don't take it as a failure at all. I feel like it's probably going to happen a little bit slower. If I have a very big flame, very, powerful, there's a lot of energy and power behind that. The only thing that I really count as a failure is not being able to light the candle. And that has actually happened to me just this past summer, as a matter of fact. I had a candle that was black and white. And it was a taper candle. Had used it before successfully. I could not get it to light. I even called my friend. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I can't light this candle. I could not light the candle. And it wasn't necessarily fail after all. I found out later on that the subject that I was doing the spell on had already played out. It was already done. So it would have been pretty much would have been wasted anyways, but I could not get that candle to light. It was really crazy. He even tried to get it to light. He could not get it to light either, so no, it wasn't just me. If your candles catch on fire and burn your whole spell plate up, that is something really big. I've actually had that happen to me before, which I'm not going to go into that big old long story, but I walked away for 5 minutes. I came back and my spell plate had just combusted, basically. So I had to start all over. That spell didn't end up as a success, but I had to do it again. So the first thing that you are going to do whenever... I do it two ways. I do just a regular candle, and then I do it in water. I'm going to show you how I do it with a candle first. So you're going to need a candle according to your intention, or a lot of times I will pick a candle color when I'm doing divination beforehand, according to who I'm doing it on. If I'm doing it on somebody that I know very well, that I can see their aura, I know their color, I'll use that. Or I will just go with my intention. Is it a love spell? Red candle. Is it protection? Black. So on and so forth. I just chose a blue candle today because I think it would be easier to see. And choose some incense that's going to bring power. I'm actually burning frankincense right now, and to me that's very powerful. But you can really use anything that you want. It's according to what you want, what you need to get your mind into the divination process. I chose crystals amethyst, That's to open my mind up. And then I have citrine and carnelian in colors of orange and yellow, and that is to sharpen and clarify my mind. You're going to need a picture of your subject, and it is very easy to get a picture nowadays. If you have a computer, if you have a printer, you can pretty much get a picture of somebody. I'm not saying to go stalk anybody by any means. I'm just saying that you can get a picture of somebody nowadays. It's pretty easy. But if you can't, you can get an object of that person that belonged to them. If you have access to a brush, you can even use handwriting. If you have stuff that they wrote on, or if you don't have any of those things, just take your little nail. Let me get my little nail. It's trying to get away from me. And you can carve their name and their birth date on the candle, which I do that anyway, regardless of whether I have a picture, hair, whatever it is that I have. I still always put the name and the date of birth. So I'm just going to put something simple like John Doe, because I'm not doing a spell on anybody right now, and their birth date. I'm going to set that to the side. Then I'm going to take my herbs, and I chose cinnamon because cinnamon it accentuates, it is a catalyst for every other aspect of your spell. It's going to strengthen and fortify every other aspect. It's going to speed things up. It's going to add stimulation. I also chose mugwort for its psychic opening properties. And I'm just going to grind these together. As you're grinding your herbs together, you are going to put your intention into it. This is your dressing. I'm going to anoint my candle, and you can use anything. I'm using rosemary because I love rosemary. It's very protective. It's very powerful. Always remember to not, you need to get, the oil all over the candle, but you don't put so much that it's going to catch on fire. I heard someone one day talk about how powerful their spell was, that their candle just, burst into flames and just, it burned up. And I was thinking, I wonder if they put too much oil, too many herbs on it, because that will make your candle catch a flame and just, it can actually catch your whole plate on fire too. That's not the reason why mine burnt up, my plate burnt up, the one I was telling you about. It was something completely different. But I have done that before. I have caught a candle on fire. Of course, we all have. Unless you don't put any kind of... I always dress my candles though. I think it's really... because it like pre-programs it. It gives the candle purpose. It gives the candle direction. Let's see. So I'm just going to... And always when you're doing your spell work, always, if you can, sometimes you can't, speak out loud. Always speak your intention out loud. That's very important. But speaking out loud it's very helpful. It fortifies your intention. It makes you remember exactly what it is that you're intending to do. I'm going to put this right over here for just one moment. Now, when you have a picture, you have to secure the picture to the plate first. And the reason why is if you don't, the piece of paper can move and knock your whole candle over. So I'm going to put some wax from my candle onto the plate. Make sure it's not going to move around. Then I'm going to put my candle right on top of my picture. And it can be face up or face down depending upon what you're doing. If you're doing something positive and for gain, then the picture should be face up. And if you're doing something darker, then it should be face down. Place my candle. I'm going to light my candle. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch my candle burn. I'm going to watch the flame. I'm going to watch the wax as it falls. When it's all completely done, I'm going to study the wax. You want to make sure that you don't have any kind of wind blowing, any kind of draft. Even just the slightest bit of a window open can cause a huge difference in your flame. That being said, I have had 3 or 4 candles on a plate, and one will burn completely different than the others. And it's because that particular candle has a different purpose than the others. And there's more energy behind it or less energy, whatever the case may be. So this candle's burning it's a clean burn. It's not erratic, it's not burning with any kind of power or anything like that, but it's a good burn, and it's probably because it's just a candle burning. I don't have any intention behind it, but you never know what you might see. I did burn one earlier, just in case we don't. This one I finished, and this one's not burned down yet. Actually, I take those 2 pieces out. And this is what it looks like. I haven't studied it or anything, but oops, little piece fell off. So that's how I do divination before a spell on the person that I'm doing the spell on, or my overall intention, just for insight and knowledge. The other way that I do it is with water. You're going to need a bowl of cold water, and I'm just going to sit this and let it burn. Maybe I'll let it burn over here so you can see it a little bit. Some of my wax fell in there earlier. I'm going to get it all out. Okay, so I have a clear bowl right here. You're going to need some cold water. And this water is not very cold because somebody was doing dishes and I just stuck it over there. So here we go. And this candle right here has been burning for a little while, so the flame's real low on it though. So you're going to kind of stir your bowl a little bit And you're going to go in the direction according to your intention. You can go counterclockwise, that way. If you're doing something that you're trying to get rid of, or something a little negative, or if you're doing something very positive, you're going to go a little bit clockwise. You just want to get a little bit of movement in the water. Then you're going to pour the wax in. And you're just going to read the wax. Oops. It's kind of like looking at the clouds. When I was a little girl, I used to look up at the clouds and they'd change shapes and they would, you know, turn into this and that. And I remember my brother and my sister and I laying there and I see a apple or whatever. And we would always see something different. What I see in here, you may not see in here. You may see something completely different. I see a snake. Lately, I've taken to dreaming about boa constrictors, so that doesn't surprise me. I'm serious. Okay, so you're just going to, I will get into a meditative trance over, and I like to have, when I'm doing this, when I'm doing my spell work, I love to have music going. I love to have something that my body, if there's a rhythm, and I will get into a very good meditative trance. So that's why I did that. It's like reading, I know a lot of people read tea leaves. I've never read tea leaves. That would be interesting to try. But it's just like that from what I've heard. I think that there's certain rules, or not rules, but there's certain ways people go about it, like left and right and colors and all that, but I don't do any of that. So I'm not opposed to it. I think that whatever works for you is great, and really, my mind is wide open. So if there's a better way to do it, I would love to hear about it, because I am not opposed to changing my mind about anything, but this is the way I've always done it, is I see pictures in the wax. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. I love to teach. I love to be, I love to impart my knowledge. And if even one person gains something from it, then I feel like I've done a great job. So, I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you.